You have opened your bank statement at the end of the month and could not say where it went. That is not a math problem. That is a naming problem. Money does not walk out the front door. It slips through the cracks and nobody watches a crack. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk through 12 places where it leaves a woman's hand without making a sound. And there is one thing that ties all 12 together, only one, but that one comes at the end. I did not pick these 12 out of thin air. I picked them inside the categories the Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks in the Consumer Expenditure Survey, the study that goes household by household, asking American families what they actually spend on. That is where the official picture of American spending comes from. I took those categories and looked inside each one for the expense that disappears quietly, not the rent. Rent hurts and everybody knows it. The other one. The first is the forgotten subscription. The service signed up for to watch one thing, one show, one movie, one class. Watched it, liked it, never went back. And it keeps coming out every month, automatically, same day, no warning. The trap is thinking that cancelling is a hassle. The hassle is paying for 8 months of something nobody opened. Women who catch this almost always catch it the same way, opening the statement slowly and reading name by name in no hurry, looking for what they do not recognize. The second one lives at the grocery store, and it is not the price of food. It is walking in without a list, going in for 5 things and leaving with 15. It happens to everyone, and it keeps happening because the store was designed for it. Almost nobody notices because the damage comes in slices. 10 here, 15 there, and by the end of the month it adds up to a whole week of groceries. The ones who solved it all say the same thing. The list on paper, written before leaving the house. On paper, not on the phone, because the phone has too much else inside it. Third, the change that vanishes. The coins and the small bills that end up at the bottom of a purse, in a coat pocket, in the car door. We do not count that as money. And that is exactly why it leaves. The trick of it is calling nothing, something that gathered up pays a utility bill. A woman in the comments here put it better than I could. She wrote that coins make dollars and that a penny saved is a penny earned, the way her people used to say it. She was not being cute. She was doing arithmetic. There is a fourth place, and it is the most polite one of all, because it introduces itself as relief. It is the minimum payment. Spread out, it looks small. But small, many times over, is a piece of next year already handed away. Almost everybody makes the same mistake of reading the monthly number instead of the total. That is how the card was designed to be read. One woman wrote here that she is slowly paying off $22,000, that it has been more than 7 months, and that she is about to start a third job from home. She did not say it was fast. She said she is still going. The fifth is the delivery of exhaustion. And I am not going to call that laziness, because it is not. It is being worn out, home from work, people to feed, and food arrives at the door in 30 minutes. The mistake is thinking that expense is about food. It is about what time a woman gets home. That is why cutting it never works and never has. The ones who get out of that one do not eat worse. They just settle on Sunday what was going to hurt on Wednesday. The sixth has an ugly name, and nearly everyone has it. The guilt purchase. The thing bought to make up for an absence, an argument, a day that could not be shown up for. Nobody tells anyone about it, which is why nobody knows how much it is. A gift outside of a date is usually guilt-talking, and guilt is expensive. 1 date a year for each person, and only one is what tends to hold. Seventh, the bank fee. The dollars that leave every month under a name nobody quite understands. Monthly maintenance. Service package. The problem is that it looks required, and it is not. Free accounts exist, and the bank will not offer one. Women who have gone after it say they heard a no before they heard a yes, and the yes only showed up on the second call. And one of them here found a different answer altogether. She wrote that she opened an account across town with no cards attached to it. Now the eighth, which is the hardest one to talk about, money lent that never came back. The name of the person already came to mind. The trap is still calling it a loan when it turned into a gift 3 years ago. Most people think the problem is the person. It is not. It is a household budget counting on money that does not exist. A woman here wrote one line about this that I have not been able to forget. She said, "You cannot carry water with open hands." The ninth is the sale. The one that was never going to be bought. Not needed, not planned, but it was half off, so it came home. Saving on something that was never going to be bought is not saving. It is spending with a ribbon on it, and it is the easiest one to justify, which is why it repeats. One woman here found the way around it without any theory at all. She started losing weight, and instead of buying a new wardrobe, she taught herself to take her own clothes in, especially the pants, and buys her belts at the thrift store. 10th, the pharmacy on autopilot. The prescription, the cream, the soap replaced without looking because it ran out. The pharmacy is the one place where people buy without asking the price, because asking feels like being cheap about your own health. It is not. Generics exist, and the counter will not bring it up unless asked. Health does not get worse because somebody knows what it costs. The 11th is the one almost nobody believes when they hear it. The bill that went up by itself. Internet, phone, insurance, the plan. It started at one number, and a year later it is higher, and there is no memory of agreeing to it, because it was never agreed to. It was just never questioned. Women who put last year's bill next to this year's tend to get a shock, and tend to fix it in one phone call using one word: cancel. And the 12th is the quietest one on the list. The money given that gets called help. To a son, to a mother, to a sister. I'm not saying to stop, and it is not my place to say it. I'm saying that help without a name turns into an obligation without an end. And the person receiving it does not know the size of it either. Somebody in these comments wrote the sentence that closes this one. You cannot set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Now notice something. Go back through all 12. Subscription, groceries, change, minimum payment, delivery, guilt, bank fee, the loan, the sale, the pharmacy, the bill that rose, help. Not one of them is big. Not one. They are all small enough not to hurt in the moment, and that is exactly why they exist. Big money gets defended. We think about it. We lose sleep over it. Small money gets handed over without a look. This is not about being bad with money. It is that nobody defends what does not look worth defending. That is the thread. All 12 are small on purpose. And of all of them, the easiest one to start with is the third, the change. Not because it is the biggest, because it is not. Because it is the only one on the list that does not require calling anyone, arguing with a bank, or having a conversation with family. It is one person, one jar, and a Friday. A woman here wrote something about a different jar that fits. She stopped calling it a budget and started calling it financial awareness, and she said it put a whole different spin on things. Same money, different name. Naming is the whole job. And there is something that tends to happen around the third week, looking at the jar, thinking it is not much, and deciding it is not worth it. That sentence is worth keeping for that day. It is not about the jar. It is about finding out that a small thing can be defended. After that one, the other 11 come easy. Tell me down below which of the 12 is yours. Just the number and the name, that is all. I read every one. And when enough women name the same one, I make a whole video about that one. If you have a sister, a daughter, a friend who would recognize herself in this list, send it to her. She will know which one is hers the first time she hears it. And if you made it this far, subscribe and turn the bell on so the next one finds you without you having to look for it. See you Thursday.